St. Patrick's Day originally was meant for people outside Ireland. That's the thing. Initially, Irish military people serving in the British Army in North America. So the first St. Patrick's Day celebrations, as we would now understand it, date back to, I think, Savannah in Georgia somewhere. So this is in colonial times. So, and at that stage, it was very much an ecumenical thing. We normally think of Irish Americans as Catholic, but in those days, they would have been mainly Presbyterian and Episcopalian. But by the 19th century, it became very much a Catholic Irish American celebration, and involving the ancient order of Hibernians. So in a way, we've always taken St. Patrick's Day for granted here in Ireland. Not now. This is the second year it's been cancelled, and it has a big effect on my neighbourhood because I live north inner city, and normally this is where the parade starts from. So there'll be marching bands and jugglers and performers right out the back of my house. And today it is deathly quiet, and it's an absolutely beautiful day.
Deathly quiet, but what's the virtual celebration like?
Well, I just checked it out in your screenshots there. I haven't checked it out yet. To be honest with you, I think all of us are, we're getting a bit fed up with online events. We want the real thing at this stage,
I know we do all want the real thing, and it is getting a bit hard being cooped up. I just wanted to continue a little bit on this history lesson you're giving us in your first answer there. Because really, who is St. Patrick, and why does he seem to be so revered compared to the other saints? For example, well, those that could be, revered in England, like St. George.
Well, St. Patrick actually is British or English, whichever way you want to put it. He had to come from somewhere, because he had to come from outside Ireland, because he is the person who evangelized Ireland, supposedly. Now, in fact, there's evidence that there may have been other St. Patricks. There's a document by a man called Palladius that appears in Vatican archives, but St. Palladius' day doesn't have the same ring to it. So I think, in fact, what happened was St. Patrick was a real person. We know he existed. But retrospectively, the credit, if you like, for Christianizing Ireland was imposed upon him, because we had to fix on him in time and in space. So then, consequently, a lot of other myth and legend grew up around St. Patrick. So you have to treat with caution a lot of stuff written about him. But we do have two documents he definitely wrote. Now, I'm seeing shots there from, in Washington, right? The American connection is very interesting. That, people think it's always been like that, but in fact, that only dates back to the 1950s, when the Irish ambassador, John Hearn, had the brilliant idea of presenting a bowl of shamrock to President Truman. And that tradition continued. And then, as luck would have it, a few years later, JFK, of course, became president, and he paid a very famous visit to Ireland. And that very much established the warm relations that exist to this day between Ireland and the United States. They weren't that warm before that, incidentally, because Ireland had remained neutral during the Second World War. So the fact that the Irish have exclusive access to the White House on St. Patrick's Day, is an amazing achievement. We usually see it as a form of soft power, but I suppose in the current Brexit situation, it's less soft power. It's entering the realms of hard politics.